Today we are talking about the importance of profession specializations for Dragonflight goldmaking, as this really has the potential to alter how you make gold in Dragonflight, and which profession specializations you choose will actually impact your gameplay quite a bit, and for us goldmakers this is an important choice we need to actually think about. In this video I want to highlight how different specializations will play out differently, and highlight different ways of using spare professions to make gold, to hopefully help you guys out to make a lot more gold than you would have if you did not watch this video. Now, before we get into the video itself, I want to shout out my Dragonflight Gold Guide, which is a 155 pages PDF document about gold making, containing more than 40 different Dragonflight gold farms that can make you insane gold bravery that has been found on the beta, and other gold making strategies using different professions. We also have a Discord server for customers of the Gold Guide where you have access to even more gold making information as well as early access to videos. In fact, right now you can get early access to the ultimate gold making strategy video for Dragonflight through that Discord server, which is a video that I intend to release after the release of Dragonflight. But if you have purchased my gold guide, you have access to that video right now and can take advantage of it from day one of Dragonflight. So with that said, let's get into the video. I wanted to start this off by talking about tailoring, and I wanted to highlight the actual importance of having at least 2 different tailoring characters, but if you really want to win min-max, you would even go for 3 tailoring characters here. So the first specialization is the unraveling specialization, where you spec at least 35 points into textiles to unlock the full benefits from the spinning trade, which teaches you to obtain rousing elements from specific cloths during the unraveling process, and upon completing this spec, you also guarantee that rousing element from each unraveling craft instead of it being a RNG proc. Now, for the purpose of this experiment, I unraveled 500 frostbitten wilder cloth on a character with fully upgraded spinning tailoring with the unraveling specialization, and on this character I managed to get a grand total of 206 rousing frost, as well as 13 tier 3 spools of wilder cloth and 95 tier 2 spools of wilder cloth. Now, by having the entire specialization trait, you can see I get between 1 and 3 rousing frost from each unraveling, and by having a lot of tailoring skill, I also get tier 2 and tier 3 spools of wilder cloth. On the other hand, if I unravel these without literally any specialization, I get literally 0 rousing frost and tier 1 spools, which is definitely not worth doing in the slightest. But if I put 6 points into this specialization, and once again unravel 500 frostbitten wilder cloth, this time I get 103 rousing frosts, and 59 tier 2 spools and 52 tier 1 spools. So by having a partial spinning trait character with 6 points into spinning, I get 103 rousing frosts, but by having 35 points and full spinning, I get literally double that amount, aka 206 rousing frost. And I wanted to include this in the video for those of you who want to go for a hybrid spec, where 6 points spent will start getting you a decent amount of rousing elements from unraveling. That being said, for the unraveling process itself, I would definitely have a character with 35 points spent in the textiles specialization to get that spinning trait, in order to get more rousing frost from the unraveling process, and getting full unraveling, aka 35 skills, takes you 1 to 2 weeks. Another tailoring character could be a tailoring farming character, where you spend 60 points into tailoring mastery to get the cloth collection trade, which in total will increase the amount of cloth you get from humanoids by 150%, as well as give you additional damage wilder cloth to unravel, and bolts of wilder cloth as well. Basically, it will give you a lot more cloth from farming, which you can then send to your unraveling character. A third tailoring alt to have, or a main possibly as well, would be a tailoring character specified into crafting armor, which is through the garment crafting specialization, which is how you obtain the recipes to craft a lot of the armor crafts from tailoring. And personally, this is exactly what I am considering doing, at least having 2 tailoring characters, 1 with cloth collection and 1 with unraveling, to maximize the gold I get from farming cloth in the open world, and also to maximize the amount of elements I get from unraveling. I might not dab too much into actually crafting gear through tailoring, but we'll see. Now the reason why you want to have several alts here is that while you can unlock all the specializations on one character, that will take time, and like I just said, unlocking Unraveling with 35 points will take you 1 to 2 weeks, and getting full cloth collection with 60 points will take you maybe 2, 3 or 4 weeks, as there is a weekly cap on how many specialization points that you can get, and the first 2 to 4 weeks of a new expansion is when prices go absolutely catabolic and you can make more gold than ever. So by having alts to maximize on how many professional specialization points you can have early on will simply make you a lot more gold, and like I just showed you, the difference between a partial unravel spec character and a fully unravel spec character is literally twice as much rousing frost. And tailoring is not the only profession where this matters. I also tested the same thing with jewel crafting, where prospecting 200 tier 3 draconium ores on a jewel crafter with no specializations gave me in total 2 tier 2 illimited diamonds, 26 tier 2 rare gems, 59 tier 2 uncommon gems, 28 fractured glass, and 70 crumbled stone. Prospecting the same 200 tier 3 draconium ores on a jewel crafter with the actual prospecting specialization gave me 2 tier 3 illimited diamonds, 32 tier 3 rare gems, 5 tier 2 rare gems, and 39 tier 3 uncommon gems, and also 8 tier 2 uncommon gems, as well as 67 fractured glass and 49 crumbled stone. The first thing of note here is that while we obtained higher quality items, upgrading from getting some tier 2 to mostly tier 1 to now getting mostly tier 3 and some tier 2. We also got a higher amount of rare gems compared to uncommon gems, which will make us vastly more gold. We also got twice as much fractured glass. It is worth noting that in this batch of prospecting we did not get any prismatic ore, and upon going full into prospecting specialization, or at least you just need 1 point into prospecting, you will now unlock the ability to find prismatic ore from prospecting, which can be further prospected into more materials, and having done further testing, I prospected 2000 draconium ores on the beta, and got a grand total of 11 prismatic ores, giving me some additional gems. Going into the prospecting specialization requires you to put 35 specialization points into the enterprising specialization to get the full benefits of the prospecting trait, and if you're going to prospect on a jewel crafter, you will make a lot more gold by having this trait. And the fact is, pretty much every profession has some important decision to make. For blacksmithing, you can choose between obtaining more elements and more alloys from smelting, or you can choose to become a master gear crafter. For inscription, you can specialize into making darkmoon cards, or you can specialize into getting more materials from milling and crafting more inks. And by realizing there is a weekly cap on specialization points, you can min-max your alts to funnel yourself with more and better materials to use when crafting. Having this knowledge right here can really alter how you make your gold in Dragonflight, and suddenly you might want to have a tailoring alt just for unraveling cloth, you might want to have a jewel crafting alt just for prospecting, a blacksmithing alt just for smelting, and an inscription alt just for milling and crafting inks, while also having a tailoring character that focuses on crafting gear, a jewel crafting character that focuses on crafting rings and necklaces, a blacksmith that focuses on crafting weapons, and a scribe that focuses on crafting darkmoon cards, and possibly missives and contracts and even staves. Now, once again, if you are interested in gold making in Dragonflight and you do want to make and you want more knowledge about gold making in Dragonflight, I really do recommend checking out my gold guide for even more information through the link down below, and let me know which professions you will focus on in the comment section down below as well. And remember to click that subscribe button for a bunch of Dragonflight gold making videos. I'll be doing daily uploads, and you don't want to miss out on time sensitive gold making videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.